Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into one of the most ambitious and, honestly, legendary poems ever written, John Milton's Paradise Lost. It is an absolutely epic story about rebellion, temptation, and, well, how humanity lost everything. So, let's just jump right in. Milton doesn't start with a hero or a big battle scene. Nope. Right from the get-go, he tells you exactly what this is all about. One single act of disobedience. He lays it all out. This one choice is what brought death and suffering into the world. It's the entire conflict of the poem, right there in the first few lines. Now, to really get this poem, you have to understand the man who wrote it and his absolutely monumental goal. See, Milton wasn't just retelling a story from the Bible. He was trying to tackle one of the biggest questions in all of theology. So, on the surface, what is Paradise Lost? It's the story of Adam and Eve, Satan's temptation, and getting kicked out of the Garden of Eden. But really, it is so much more than that. It's a deep psychological dive into a war in heaven, into free will, justice, and whether or not redemption is even possible. And the man behind it all, John Milton, was an absolute powerhouse. We're talking about a guy who was intensely religious, a political firebrand who wrote about free speech, and was soaked in classical literature. And he poured every ounce of that passion and intellect into this one masterpiece. Okay, now we get to the character everyone talks about. What's so wild about this poem and what has fascinated people for centuries is that the most compelling, the most charismatic character is the villain. For Milton, who had just lived through a massive civil war, the idea of a charming rebel fighting against an all-powerful king, well, that felt very, very real. I mean, listen to this. After losing the war against God and getting tossed into hell, Satan is completely defiant. He drops this incredible line, basically saying, "You can put me in hell, but you can't control my mind." He's reframing his own damnation as a kind of mental freedom. It's incredible stuff. And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? He'd rather be a king in the worst place imaginable than a servant in paradise. For Satan, it is absolutely 100% better to reign in hell than serve in heaven. That single idea defines his entire being. So Plan A, direct warfare, was a total failure. Time for Plan B. He knows he can't win with brute force, so he switches to sabotage. He gets his fallen angels all fired up and then volunteers for a solo mission to go to this brand new world, Earth, and corrupt God's favorite new project, humanity. And what's the first thing you do when you're building a new kingdom in hell? You build a capital city, of course. In this amazing show of defiance, they literally mine the depths of hell and build this incredible palace, Pandemonium, which literally means all the demons. It's like a twisted, dark mirror of heaven. All right, so Satan is on his way. Our bad guy is established. Now the scene shifts to Earth, and the stage is set for the real heart of the drama, the temptation in the Garden of Eden. And what does he find there? He finds Adam and Eve. And Milton describes them as living in the state of just perfect, blissful innocence. They are in total harmony with nature, with each other, with everything. I mean, this place, the Garden of Eden, is perfect. It's lush, it's beautiful, it even has a tree of life. But you know there's always a but, right? Their whole perfect life comes with one single test, one restriction, all centered on another tree, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Just one. That's it. Think about that. Their entire perfect world, all of it, hangs on following this one single simple rule. Don't eat the fruit from that one tree. Seems easy enough, right? And this is where Satan makes his move. He slips into the garden, finds Eve by herself, and he doesn't just show up with horns and a pitchfork. No way. He's smart. He takes the form of a serpent, and he is masterfully persuasive. He uses flattery, logic, and straight-up lies, arguing that God is just trying to keep them down, to keep them ignorant. So Eve eats the fruit, and when Adam finds out, he's just horrified. But here's the crucial part. He's not tricked by Satan. He knows exactly what he's doing. But his love for Eve is so complete. He can't imagine a life without her. So he makes a conscious choice. He would rather be damned with her than live in paradise alone. And boom, the second they both eat the fruit, everything changes. The world is never the same. Their innocence is gone, and the consequences aren't just personal. They ripple out and affect the entire world. So, Judgment Day arrives. The Son of God comes down to deliver the sentences. The serpent is cursed, of course. And Adam and Eve, Well, they receive punishments that will basically define the entire human condition from that point forward. Pain, hard labor, and a whole new kind of social order. And get this, it wasn't just them. Their personal choice had cosmic consequences. The entire planet changed. Suddenly there are harsh seasons. Animals that used to live peacefully together start hunting and killing each other. Their fall literally broke the world.
And that's it. Game over. They can't stay in the garden anymore. The Archangel Michael comes down to lead them out, and their journey into a much harsher, mortal world officially begins.
But wait, just when you think it's all doom and gloom, Milton gives us a sliver of hope. Before they're actually kicked out for good, Adam is given a vision, a sneak peek into the future of mankind.
And it is a real roller coaster. Adam sees the absolute worst of humanity: murder, war, sin, you name it. But mixed in with all that darkness, he also sees these moments of divine mercy and this growing sense that there's a long-term plan for salvation, a plan that eventually leads to the promise of a savior.
And all of this leads to a really fascinating, kind of mind-bending idea called the fortunate fall. Now that sounds crazy, right? How could their fall be fortunate? Well, the argument goes like this. Their tragic mistake actually allowed God to show his greatest qualities, grace and mercy. Without the fall, they'd just be innocent. But through redemption, humanity can achieve something even greater.
So after all of that, the war in heaven, the temptation, the epic vision of all of human history, the poem ends on this incredibly quiet, human, and just heartbreaking image. Adam and Eve, with nothing left but each other, walking hand in hand into an unknown world.
Which brings us to the one big question people have been arguing about for literally centuries. When you look at his defiance, his passion, his incredible speeches, you have to ask yourself, is the charismatic villain actually the hero of this story? It's a question that makes you rethink what a hero even is.